Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we are back doing another Ixalan Intermediate Swiss Draft League. So the pick here appears to be the Walk the Plank, strong removal spell, 2 mana, deals with a lot of things in the format, outside of the Merfolk deck, of course. Otherwise, there's Contract Killing, which deals with more things but is more expensive. I like Ranging Raptors, and the Wayfinder, and that's about it. We'll take the removal. Follow-up pick. So we have Dark Nourishment, which stays on color with Walk the Plank and is a pretty good card. Comparable to Unfriendly Fire. 1 less damage but 3 more life. Certainly a fine follow-up pick. There's also Pious Interdiction, which deals with more things and is less expensive, so may just be a better pick than Dark Nourishment. Black-White would lead us down a Vampire path. Inspiring Cleric is very good in that deck. We have Merfolk Branchwalker, which is a pretty fantastic 2-drop beater. Black-green value. Outside of Merfolk, this is still an incredibly powerful 2-drop, so could try a black-green value deck, or just take the strongest card, which is probably the Branchwalker. Otherwise, we can just stay on color, take the Dark Nourishment, move on. Still plenty of archetypes available to us, so I might be okay with that. This also, what I like about it is Burns Face. Like I said, very similar to Unfriendly Fire. You can kill a player with this, so I think we will actually follow up with Dark Nourishment and be okay with that. Alright, follow-up pick now. Probably the Pious Interdiction. Deals with a lot of things. Moves us into a black-white, which would lead us down a vampire path. But getting 3 very good removal spells as our first 3 picks, I have no problems with that. Other good cards in here. I like the Cutlass a lot. I've been pretty impressed with this card overall. Skyblade is fine. The Soldier's fine and playable in our vampire deck. If we were to wheel either one, that would be nice. Otherwise, the dinosaur decks have a couple good picks. Makeshift Munitions. I think most people don't like this card. I think it's fine, actually. If you're generating a lot of treasure, I don't see why this would be bad. It's also good alongside Hijack or other ways of stealing creatures, but let's follow up with the Interdiction. Okay. So now we have the Bloodletter, which I think I'm fine picking here, over Rallying Roar, over Tormentor, over Conquistador. This card is pretty good. I've been pretty impressed with it in the format overall. It's deceptively quick at beating down an opponent, so I think Rallying Roar is actually a very good card too, but we're going to pick the Bloodletter. Okay, so now we have Queensbay Soldier, which is a vampire, Direfleet Hoarder, and Slash of Talons. I may just want the Slash of Talons. This card has been better than you'd expect it to be in the format. Queensbay Soldier is a vampire, but it's just a bear, so I think we'll take the Slash of Talons. Deals with a lot of things at a cheap cost. I like the Direfleet Hoarder too. Still some pretty good, well, Dreadmaw's a good green card, Prosperous Pirate, pretty good blue card, but I feel like we're on a good path at the moment. Okay. Oh, spoke too soon. This pack is kind of a miss for us. So we can take the Raider's Wake, which is the last remaining black card, because as of now, the 2 white cards we have are pretty good, and the 3 black cards we have are pretty good. So we have pretty good incentive to go down this path. Maybe I'll just take the Demystify, actually. A good sideboard card. Raider's Wake, I'm probably not going to play it. And then Pounce is the best card, but I think we can let somebody else jump into these colors, and we'll just take... Let's try and make this black-white thing work if we can. So we can take Blightkeeper now. We don't have any Explore yet, but there's certainly Explore in both white and black, as there is in all colors. Fine taking the Blightkeeper here. It's not a vampire, but I like my cards to be evasion. We have Raid in black, and that's a pretty good finishing ability. I've definitely killed people with the 8 mana ability before, so Blightkeeper seems fine. Certainly good alongside removal, I would say. You're beating in, you're able to remove what you need to. So Direfleet Hoarder could be our 2-drop spell, might even let us possibly branch into a 3rd color. Otherwise, we can take the Unfriendly Fire, which is surprisingly going late, and then maybe we splash red. But I may just want to cut black and white as hard as I can for now. Splashing Unfriendly Fire does seem fine. How many treasure generators are we going to get? Not much in terms of white, and black I'm not sure. I think we'll just cut the... I mean, Darfleet Hoarder is likely going to make the deck. So we could take the Cobbled Wings here. Not an amazing spell, but certainly playable. So late blue. Could be black blue is the direction we're supposed to go. The Looter, the Opt are both fine. Might just want the Unknown Shore, maybe get us ready for a 3-color plan. But we cut plenty of black, but only cut a couple white. I really like Opt a lot, but I think Looter probably is going to be the pick if we end up black-blue Pirate. So here, probably just take the Lookout's Dispersal, rather. Can be 2 mana if we end up in a Pirate deck. You can still definitely play your Bloodletter in your Pirate decks. Probably take the Plunder. It's more of a sideboard card against the heavy removal decks. Same with the rest. Dual Shot, okay. So, seemed like we saw some fairly late blue. Nothing broken in blue late, but white was kind of getting cut off. So it could be more of a black-blue Pirate deck is the good path to go, which I'm fine with. I like the Marauders a lot. Otherwise, we have Darfleet Captain, but that's not quite the colors I'm looking for. I have a couple Vampires. Could still attempt to make the Vampire deck work, which I'm fine with. Otherwise, maybe try and make the Marauder. We saw some late red. That was good. There's a Territorial Hammer Skull, too, if we wanted to just try a black-white value. Like, Hammer Skull is certainly, I would say, the best of all the cards we see in this pack. This lets you beat in pretty effectively, especially alongside removal and flying over top, too. So I might just want the Hammer Skull and still attempt to make the white work. Like I said, the white was getting cut, but usually what that means is pack 1 and 3, we shouldn't expect to see white, but maybe this pack is where we expect to see white, which could be good for us. So Hammer Skull, like I said, seems like the best. Just in terms of straight black cards, we have Heartstopper and Conquistador, which aren't great. I like the Marauders a lot, but I'm not sure I want to just straight... I could just jump ship into black-red, which seems fine too, but I think I am going to take the Hammer Skull. Still kind of weigh my options here and see if I can attempt to make this black-white thing work. So we could take the Deacon. We currently have only 1 Vampire, which is not much, but this pack is devoid of anything we want, really. There's no good white card, so I guess we will take the Deacon. Just blue and green in here, which are not great. I don't really like the Conqueror's Galleon so much. Here seems like a very good opportunity to pick up the Skymarch Bloodletter number 2. We're pretty much for sure black at this point, and Bloodletter and Deacon love each other intensely. I don't think Conqueror's Galleon is all that good. No, I don't really like it that much. I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess, but it's just too much work. Let's just take the Bloodletter. Okay, here we have a chance at another Hoarder, but we might want this Queen's Agent. There's also a Sunrise Seeker. I think the Agent's fine. It's going to work with our Deacon fairly well. I've found the lifelink to be pretty profitable, especially if we make this Cobbled Wings work. I might be okay taking a Queen's Agent. Sunrise Seeker is pretty good too, but I guess I'd rather have a Vampire with the Deacon, like I said, and the lifelink is probably overall more valuable than Vigilance, although Vigilance is very good too. It's also a little bit cheaper, but we're going to take the Queen's Agent. So there's Conquistador, which is fine, but not great. I might just prefer to have a Queen's Bay Soldier. Probably trades with more things than a 1-2 that beats for 2. This is a uncommon, though, but I think I still go Queen's Bay Soldier. I mean, a 1-2 body is pretty mediocre. I guess we do have Cobbled Wings. We have a good amount of removal, too. There's also Sheltering Light, which is cheap protection with Scry, which I think is good, but I might just take the Queen's Bay Soldier. Get a Grizzly Bear in here over the Vicious Conquistador. So we have March of the Drowned. I think we'll take the Legion Conquistador now, possibly see some more. So here, Encampment Keeper, I guess, is going to be the pick. Not terribly exciting. Geez, Raging Swordtooth's good, but you know how I feel about Mark of the Vampire, one of my favorite cards in the format, and we're in a vampire deck, sort of, so Perfect. But yeah, Raging Swordtooth is very, very strong too. But Mark the Vampire, I've, you know, I said it early in the format too that the card tends to beat me, but I always underrate it, and I still did it at the beginning of the format, and then I played it, and it still crushes. Every format I've played it in, the card just crushes. So very, very good. So here, wow, the Marauders came back. It'd be nice if I could play it. So now we have Conquistador or Skittering Heartstopper. So I might actually want the Heartstopper over the Conquistador. The Conquistador is a vampire, which is good with the Deacon. But Heartstopper, we actually have a fair amount of evasion. We have the Blightkeeper and the Double Bloodletter right now. I guess we could use some more. But I've found this Heartstopper to be very good, and I think it is just straight up better than Conquistador, so we'll take it. Okay, we can take the Unknown Shore now, possibly splashing a third color for something bomby. Grim Captain's Call, I guess. I mean, we do have pirates and vampires in here, just not many pirates. Just one, it looks like. Alright, so be it. Prying Blade, perhaps. Likely not, but it is an option. Alright, got the Conquistador anyway. Possibly playing it, not very likely. March of the Drowned is a Raise Dead effect. Certainly good in a pirate deck, but not exactly what we're looking for. So not really expecting to see much white out of pack 3. Who knows? Maybe we'll be more of a mono. Could actually end up mono black. Or black and then... Well, Vanquisher's Banner is pretty bomby. Especially with token producing vampire cards. But we'll see if we get so lucky. Unfortunately, this pack has like both the token producing cards. How many vampires do we currently have? We have a Conquistador, a Queensbay Soldier, 2 Conquistadors, 2 Bloodletters, Deacon, Agent. So we could pick up some more here. I found this card to be exceptionally good if you can get enough. Swordtooth is very strong too. It's going to be a blowout card against us. Although I guess we don't have that many 1/1 or X1s. We have a couple though. We're going to take the banner. Ideally we get some more vampires here. We'll see if we get so lucky. So now I guess I can take another Queensbay Soldier, which is fine, over a second Blightkeeper. So here we have Ruin Raider, which seems fine for us. We have some life gain in the form of Queen's Agent, Dark Nourishment, the Bloodletters, and the Mark. So we can offset the raid, but getting the card advantage, we have mostly a low curve. I think it'll be good for us, and we're taking it basically over a Tormentor, which definitely seems worse. So, alright, Ruin Raider it is. So now we have Sky Marcher, which might be what we're looking for, but there's a second Mark of the Vampire. I think I'm just going to err towards Mark being our bomb card. It's also Vanquish the Weak, but as much as I actually do like Sky Marcher and we want a lot of vampires, I gotta take Mark the Vampire. The card is just too strong, and 2 is the magic number for it. So now we can take another Pious Interdiction, get another removal spell, which I'm happy about. Pretty premium one at that. And passing a Vampire Zeal, which is also good, but not nearly as good as the Pious Interdiction. Here's our Queen's Commission. Gonna take that. Certainly good with our Vanquisher's Banner. Doesn't let us draw a card because it's not a creature spell, but paying 3 mana for 2/2 lifelink vamps is very good. First cut may be the Encampment Keeper. We don't have any raid though, so it could be the... Oh, no, we do have raid. Okay. Probably the Conquistador, even though it's a vampire. Just playing a vampire Grey Ogre does not strike me as particularly good. Goring Ceratops, I think I'm actually going to take. There's also Bright Reprisal, but I think we can get to 7 mana, and even in a 16 land deck, and I found Goring Ceratops to be pretty good actually. So I think Conquistador is going to be gone, and if we get one more, I'd play it, but I'm not holding out hope that we will. I think we're already, well, that was the last pack I think that we hadn't seen, I believe. So I don't think Conquistador is going to happen. Oh, it spoke too soon. Alright, well, screw it then. Makes sense to take it now. So maybe I can cut something else. Maybe we don't need the Blightkeeper, and we can stick to a vampire-themed deck. Alright, Seems fine. We only have one raid anyway, so. Oh, got the Call to the Feast back, so I'll definitely take that over the Queen's Commission. That's nice. That's a gift, actually. I'm feeling good. Kind of made this, pieced it all together. Not sure about the final cut. I kind of want to keep Conquistador now that we have Banner and the Deacon, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what we need to do here. So another Blightkeeper, whatever. Don't need it. Don't need the Prying Blade. Buccaneer's probably the best card. We'll take that. Dive Down is certainly the best card. Ooh, Sky Marcher came. That's certainly good. That's great, actually. So cool. We ended up piecing a nice little vampire deck together. I'd like to cut all my non-vampires, but I'm not sure what they are. Maybe we don't need the Cobbled Wings. Although Cobbled Wings is going to be good with our Lifelinkers. Legion's Judgment is a great sideboard card to have. But considering we have double Mark, I don't know, actually. I don't really want to cut a creature because we're rocking 15 right now. And I do kind of want to play 16 lands if I can. So, well, I guess we have more than 15 because you can count our 4-drops, like the Call to the Feast as a creature card. Definitely. So really we have like 17 creatures. So we can't afford to cut a creature, or maybe 2. Weakest creature in our deck is probably the Conquistador, but let's do could cut the Hoarder too. Hoarder kind of lets us get to our later stuff though when it trades early, which I like. Like it can get us to our Ceratops, so it might actually be a pretty important card. I'm okay cutting the Cobbled Wings. We have double Mark, even though they kind of work well together. I'm not sure that I want to run Cobbled Wings in here. I may want to. I haven't decided yet. Conquistador, I guess we'll do a vampire count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is good. 12 is a good vampire count, especially for this Vanquisher's Banner. So I can cut the Conquistador and go down to 11 and we're still just fine. Because like I said, I think Conquistador is one of the weaker cards, especially since we're not necessarily a beatdown deck. We have a great late game plan in both Ceratops and Vanquisher's Banner. We have like Lord Effect, and even the Mark of the Vampire is one of those cards that just, okay, I win now. So I could even cut one more creature, and like I said, we would still have 15 creature cards if you count the Commission and the Call to the Feast as creatures, which I do. So that means we could cut possibly... Ruin Raider might be a bit dangerous in here because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 cards that I really don't want to draw. So a fourth of the time we generate raid off the Ruin Raider, we're going to be hurting pretty bad. Which I guess means 75% of the time we're not going to be hurt that bad either. And it is card advantages, straight up card advantage. We also have life gain, right? Because we have double Bloodletter, which is only 1 life though. But we do have the Pious Interdiction, which gains life. We have the Mark of the Vampire, which gains life. We have Queen's Commission, Call to the Feast, Queen's Agent, Dark Nourishment. A lot of our cards gain life, so Ruin Raider might just be worth it. Might just be worth it. And Deacon with our little Lifelinkers too is quite good. I just kind of don't want to cut the Cobbled Wings, but it's only because flying over top with our vampires is quite good. And we don't we don't have a ton of evasion. We have a Sky Marcher, 2 Bloodletters, that's 3. We basically have 3 evasive creatures, which is not that much. So I may just cut one more creature. Like I said, that brings us down to 15 creature cards, 15 creature generators. So I might cut the Heartstopper, because like I said, I think the Hoarder might still be useful. I really like Heartstopper actually, but I think it can go. That way we're focusing on mostly vampires. We still have 11 vampires in here. I think the Ruin Raider, despite 25% of our deck hurting us pretty badly, with the life gain, we should be okay. And like I said, card advantage is very good. So we might just want this Ruin Raider. So something like this seems fine to me. How's our converted mana cost overall looking? Pretty good. we're fairly low. 14 plus our 16 lands. So 30 cards in our deck are not going to be too punishing, and then 10 cards in our deck are going to be pretty punishing. And then 1 card in our deck is going to be super punishing, like close to 50% of our life. But I still think the Ruin Raider, the payoff is going to be mostly good. Mostly good payoff. Sideboard, we have anti-enchantment, we have anti-fatty, more anti-fatty with the Heartstopper. We've got, I guess, anti-graveyard. I don't really think that comes up all that much. Anti-planeswalker, another anti-board wipe, anti-removal. Maybe a raised dead effect doesn't seem particularly necessary. So we have actually a good sideboard plan too. I think our main deck looks good. I think this is a pretty good deck. I think overall I'm not unhappy here. So 8 and 8, I think that is fair. We need both early. Need black more, but we do need both early. So I think we're going to do an 8-8 split. I like this deck. I think it looks good. Yeah, black-white vampires with good removal count. Seems pretty good to me. So we'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1.